Whoa, all right. Well, let's turn that banner off. There we go. All right. Hey, I'm going to bring Russ right in because, man, it's Monday morning, and let's get right to it. Hey, there's Russ. He's
That's confusing, period.
You're on.
Hey, I was just texting you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, morning. I'm going to give you a little more volume here. Here we go. All right. Hey, this is the networking Q&A every Monday morning at 8 Pacific time. And Russ and I have been actually texting. I know Russ has probably been up since early this morning, probably four or five, somewhere around there, getting the day going and getting into the week. And this is a brand new month. This is February 1st. So 1/12 of 2021, which so many people were looking to 2021. 1/12 of that year is now gone. And I hope everyone has been able to get started with the month and feel like this first month was an accomplishment. Russ, I know you've been busy. I know so we've got this week we've got another edition of the experience.
Yes.
And you're releasing 2 podcasts every week.
That's right. I just released an awesome one this morning. Annie Lieb, huge on LinkedIn, Living Life with Annie-tude. I love it.
Annie-tude, yep.
Yeah, and Annie will be on. She's scheduled to be on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott too. But great podcast this morning. Actually, it is 20 minutes long, which is the longest podcast I've done, but it was so good. I didn't want to cut it up. So I just used the whole thing. But she, great energy, great authenticity. She really just majors in authenticity, helping people. And yeah, we got along great. And so, yeah, anyway, we become friends. She's on that, and I'm excited.
All right. I'm going to put this, we've got Whitney is here. I haven't seen Whitney in a while. I'm going to put the link in there. Whitney, I don't know if you have any video, but I'm going to bring you on anyway, so we can at least hear what's going on. Whitney, what is going on in your world?
Oh, just trying to get caught up, new projects.
Yeah? What do you got going? What's new?
It's going well. I started a new magazine in Des Moines, Iowa. So I have been back and forth for quite some time. I got sick. Yeah, I got COVID. It was about 6 weeks, and then trying to catch up from that was, it takes, like, not saying that networking isn't important, but when you're constantly against the gun of a deadline and that kind of stuff, it gets pretty overwhelming, and things like this you kind of push to the wayside, I guess, a little bit. I know that's not the correct, portion of this, but now I'm kind of getting back on top of my game.
I have talked to a number of people that have been struck with COVID. And I think the distressing thing about this particular disease is the unpredictability as to how people will respond. So I've known people that have tested positive and had little or no symptoms. People have been down for a week, 2 weeks, and you were down for a month and a half. That's crazy. I'm glad you're back.
Well, yeah, I spent a stint in the hospital. My oxygen, I didn't need a ventilator, but the biggest thing for me was that I was dehydrated, and then I needed to be basically on a piggyback of vitamins and fluids. And then just really trying to get over the fatigue. Like one person mentioned to me, just muscle atrophy, just getting to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we've talked about COVID for a year now, and I'm kind of over the whole COVID thing, but it really affected my sleep pattern. I'm more nocturnal now, which has been hard for me to switch over, because I'd go to the doctors during the day and they would, help me start to feel better, and I'd go to sleep, and then at night I would be up. But yeah, I was sleeping about 20 hours a week or 20 hours a day for about 3.5 weeks.
Wow.
I know. it was debilitating. So,
But I know you've worked hard to build a good team around you, so they can keep the business going.
Yep. And then, falling out on leadership, I wouldn't contribute everything to myself, but, we lost 2 of our team members, and then picking that up in the meantime was quite difficult. Just trying to do my best with what I had at the time. And now I'm trying to do it all.
Yeah. So tell us about this magazine. What's this going on?
It is the apartment leasing guide in Des Moines. It focuses mainly on apartment complexes and property management. It's a really nice, like, digital, slick magazine. And we have over in the Des Moines area, which is quite large, 30 different distribution points, and we print 40,000 copies a month. So
wow.
It's quite the project to take on and manage everything. So I've been meeting with the apartment complexes and doing a lot of drone videos. We've gotten some really pretty snow here. So doing that, retaking photos, and then doing virtual tours in order to assist with anybody that feels a little apprehensive to go in during this time. And so Matterport,
drone videos, those have changed a lot of things. On Wednesday, so 7 a.m. Pacific, and you are Central Time?
That's right.
Yeah, so 9 a.m. On the live show with Russ and I, The Experience, we are going to have the drone singer, Victor Villegas. He's a really fun guy. He's one of those guys that he was doing some presentations, and he decided that it would be helpful if he was a ventriloquist. And so he bought a ventriloquist dummy, learned how to do it by watching YouTube videos. So anyway, but he's done a lot of work with drones. He works with the extension service at the university. So that's going to be a fun one.
Very nice. Very nice.
So we're glad you're back up and going again.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see all the lovely things you guys do on LinkedIn and Facebook, and I typically like them in the middle of the night. So
yeah. Well, we appreciate that. And then I've got this business networking boot camp coming up on February 8th to the 11th. I'll do 4 sessions, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And speaking of LinkedIn, that's going to be a big focus of it. Is really how to gather your connections through LinkedIn and really look for the gold within your existing network. And so that'll be a fun. It's a 4-day challenge, if you will. I've been one of my business coaches was very strongly encouraging me to do this, and this has sounded like a fun one. So that's what we're going to be coming up, and also because Jim Fuse got both Russ and I hooked up with StreamYard, it's going to go out through there. So that just makes it a much better deal.
Yeah, it was a lot easier to get on from Facebook, and then I started to look for like the link, and I was like, well, this is super slick. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Russ, what have you got going on this week? Who else are you have on your podcast this week?
Yeah, it is a crazy busy week. Well, I'm going to tell you the one Thursday, and he doesn't even know he's up Thursday yet, even though we already recorded. And that's Arvel. And he is up. I'm trying to think. Now I'm spacing his last name, so give me a second because I don't want to announce it without. Yeah, Arvel Craig. And Arvel Craig is a great, great young man doing incredible things. He's back east, and I've got to remember where he is exactly because it's been a little while since I actually recorded that. But he is excellent. It's going to be an awesome Thursday. Today's Annie Lieb, like I said. She's incredible, tons of energy. Both of them are great. And then, of course, we got The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And so 2 great guests on this week. We got Raquel Boris and Victor Villegas, who Victor and I just hit it off. Great. Yep. Thanks to Scott connecting us. He's a great guy. So super excited about that. I've got, oh my goodness, I've got so many things going on besides recording podcasts and hopping on the marketing Q&A this morning. I have.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm working on my workbook to go along with Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, my book. And so that will be done shortly in PDF form to start. But then I'll actually get that printed. So I'm working on that right now. So excited about that. That's a big project with everything else I got going on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always, it's, I've said this before, but it's on the average, Americans spend 5 hours a day watching television, which you could think is a tragedy, but I really look at it as saying that on the average, we have 5 hours of discretionary time every day. And putting it into a podcast, creating a new magazine, these are all great places to use that discretionary time. And for those who haven't created a side business, which can be your end up being your full-time business, Russ is a great example of that. This week, I'm really excited because I'm going to be teaching business networking tomorrow in 2 sessions to high school students.
That's awesome.
And and this is just one of those crazy things where I spoke to a couple of classes last year, in the fall, I guess. Talking about business networking is giving the students some practical steps and things to do, because a lot of students, as they're graduating, they're told your network is going to be very important. And then they're like, great, well, what do I do? Oh, go to networking events. Yeah, but what do I do? Right. So I'll be giving them some practical steps. And then we had this orientation on Friday, and it turns out this is like a much bigger event than I expected. There's going to be about 100 different sessions and 22,000 students. So, wow. Yeah. So there's a possibility that I could end up with 11,000 students per session. I doubt that. But what I'm hoping is that the ones that I do get to share these tips with will be able to help their peers. And that's really, when it comes down to it, networking is just relationships and this collaboration and cooperation that we have.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, well, I think that what is so important is the true connection in networking, because as you get out there and you actually put your boots to the ground and you network and you connect with people, you got to really dive in. And that's one thing that I think people during COVID especially have found to be just so vital, because everybody's battling isolation, as you like to say, Scott, and loneliness. And so it's time to come together and connect. And how do you do that? You network.
Yeah. Yeah. There was research that was done. So some of the research that's out there shows that when you have a strong network, that not only are things easier, but you actually are happier, you're actually healthier, and you live a longer life. So there's a lot of reasons to be connected. And so one of the studies that they did is they put people at the base of a hill, and they asked them, how steep is that hill? And then they had them there with a friend next to them. And then they actually did a test where they didn't even have the person there. They just asked them, think about a good friend. And as they went through this study, when people were with a friend, or even when they were just thinking of a friend, the hill was always less steep than when they were alone. And so when you have a good network, life is a lot less daunting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, because we're meant to do life together.
Yep.
And so, yeah, absolutely. We're meant to do life together. So when you are, collaborating or networking and working with others, not only is it a good thing, but it's encouraging, it's uplifting, it's driving. It helps drive you forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why when we started talking about doing the experience, it wasn't something I was really interested in doing by myself, or but partnering up with you, Russ, was to be able to do that. And then this afternoon, Clubhouse is a relatively new platform. I'll just say it's exploded recently because the marketers got a hold of it. And so these last couple months, a lot of people getting onto Clubhouse. And one of the things that anything with these platforms, new platforms like Clubhouse or any of those others out there, is consistency. So Russ has his podcast consistently, 2 episodes a week. The Experience every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific. And then at 1:30 Pacific, and that'd be 3:30 Central Time, I'm partnering with Scott Weaver. He's in Franklin, Tennessee. And he and I will be doing a business mastermind live on Clubhouse. And so that's and so today is the inaugural episode for that. So we'll be
I'm going to be there.
We've got that scheduled for every week and 30 minutes. So we don't want to take a lot of time. I know that one of the comments about Clubhouse is to say it could take a lot of time. People can get out of control. And some of these, I've seen some of these broadcasts where you tune into them and they're going like, well, we're into our 13th hour now.
Yeah, those are a little long.
That's
Yeah.
too much.
Have you been, Whitney? Have you been looking at Clubhouse?
No, I have not. No, I have not.
All right. So, do you have a Apple? Are you an iOS person?
I am an Android user.
Okay. All right. Well, me too. But I a few years ago, actually, I got an iPad because some things, like in this case, Clubhouse is only on iOS. So there was a lot of things would release only on iOS. So I got an iPad, even though I'm a PC Android guy, specifically so I could kind of take a look at some of these things from my at least from my customer's point of view. Because people would say, "Oh, what is this Clubhouse thing?" You're like, "Yeah, I don't know." Clubhouse is an audio-only platform. It's all in real time. There's no direct message capabilities. There's no images. The only images that on there is your profile picture, and then your profile. And then you can link to your Twitter and your Instagram account so people can message you through one of those 2 platforms. But otherwise, it is all real time. There's no recordings available for people who want to try to record something. So maybe they'll set up a digital recorder or they'll put something in line. The terms of service with Clubhouse says you're going to announce that in the room, so in the description that you'll make it clear that you're recording this. Otherwise, they will deactivate your account because this is real time. So that's one of those tips that you want to know. We learned a lot from Jim Fuse in the tea break.
Yes, we did
a couple weeks ago now. Well, not quite. Yeah. So I'm excited because I just look at it as another opportunity to connect with people that I wouldn't on other platforms.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. And these are the comments. I don't know, Russ, if have you spent much time on Clubhouse?
I did. I jumped on the tea break one, and that's all that I've done so far. I glanced at it. I want to use my time wisely, and so I haven't seen things that I absolutely want to go on. But today I'm going to jump on yours with you and Scott Weaver and check it out again. But
if you're really interested in Clubhouse, one of the people that I really strongly recommend that you follow, not just on Clubhouse but on his other platforms, is Brian Fanzo, and you can find him at iSocialFans, which was the brand name that he created a long time ago, and so he's stuck with that. iSocialFans, FANZ. Brian Fanzo, he's gone all into this. He was making basically his entire living as a speaker at events. And of course, last year, when the world changed, in fact, the first thing that happened was he was scheduled to speak at South by Southwest, and the company that had hired him was pulling out. And so he became, I remember he put out a message and he says, "Oh, if there's anyone that needs a host or an MC, I'm available because this company is not showing up." And then they canceled the whole South by Southwest. He quickly made a big pivot in his business and has a ton of information that he's been sharing about how to do virtual events, how to do virtual presentations, and in the midst, he had to move the apartment that he was living in. The people decided not to rent it anymore. He had to try to find a place to live.
Oh my goodness!
But
Crazy.
his information is over the top good, and he describes himself self-described, and I think adult diagnosed as ADHD. So there's no breadth. He was wearing, I remember when we first met, he's wearing a hat that said, talk fast, tweet faster. And so anyway, that's where he's at. But he's been doing great. He's got some tremendous information and tips that are on Clubhouse, but also translate into other platforms. So
cool. Very good.
Whitney, what is your favorite social platform?
Well, that I use probably I would say, like, I don't really typically text anymore. I use Snapchat mainly for everything now.
Oh yeah.
Videos, photo editing. It just makes things look a lot more enhanced. Sometimes I'll throw them through Instagram. It's just something very easy that I can do on my phone because I'm always on the go.
I know that.
And then lugging around cameras and laptops and things of that nature just gets pretty cumbersome. So
yeah. Well, Snap is a great platform. That is actually almost exclusively how my son and I, other than face to face, but I don't call, I don't text. I use Snapchat, and we just use mainly the instant messaging portion of that. But it's also great to just do a quick, "Hey son, stop at the store, pick up some milk."
Well, and for me, it helps with a lot of the accountability. Like I'll use, for example, like the magazine when I go to distribution sites and I'm like, well, it's not here. Like I can just continuously snap into like a chat. So like my distribution, my pagination, so on and so forth. So we're all in a group, and then we can save the photos and go about it that way. It helps. I wish we had a way to export it into email, but that doesn't quite happen as seamlessly.
All right. And Russ is going to jump out, but I did want to say another thing that Russ has been using, and thanks to Tim Sohn specifically, is the Snap camera. I don't know if you've got that loaded up, but I'll tell you what, the filters on there have been a lot of fun.
They are so much fun. Yeah, I just I enjoy it, especially with Tim and Brian on their shows.
Brian
they
Shulman.
love doing crazy stuff. And so yeah, let me see. Let me put on, I'll do something fun here. Let's see. There we go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
There you go. Or we can, this one's good. Here we go. It's a smirk.
Oh yeah. These
there you go. Yeah. Just be careful if you leave your Snap camera on and then you jump on with somebody else and you forget that it's on. I found that could be an issue, because then you got to make sure to always go and turn my Snap camera off. Anyway, I got to run, guys. Scott,
hey, Russ, that's great. I will see you later on today. We'll talk some more.
Okay.
All right. So, Whitney, I'm glad that you're back. Boy, it's just 6 weeks with COVID. That's just
it does. it changed a lot of just my perception on one of the things that people mentioned was, year and a half ago, we used to go to work sick. And there wasn't really many times that I would call in throughout my career. And
Sure.
just how that policy and that mentality has changed is quite interesting to take a look at as far as the workforce.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It was never a good idea to go to work sick. But there's a lot of, I'll just say there's a lot of kind of peer pressure, management pressure, personal pressure, expectations that we push through, right? And we celebrate that person who is not succumbing, right?
yes, that's a polite way of saying it. But yeah, catch me up on everything that you've been up to or what your week looks like.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, we've got so Russ and I are running a mastermind at 10, so noon your time, and so that's a regular Monday feature. We're just adding on this Clubhouse with Scott Weaver, and then on Wednesdays is the experience, and that's been a great show. We'll have to see about scheduling you to be as a guest on there. We run 2 guests per week. It's just a 30-minute show. It's a talk show,
Sure.
and it's if you want to just think about the Tonight Show, and people get to come on. We learn some interesting facts about people, and we get to share about the work that they're doing. So we can talk about the magazine and the process, and it's interactive because it's live.
Sure.
And so that's going on. And then I've got this networking boot camp coming up. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a 4-day challenge. Again, as one of my business coaches was encouraging me to do a challenge. And so
explain the challenge a little bit more.
Yeah. So basically in the challenge, you just go on live for like a number of days in a row. So we're going to go 4 days, Monday through Thursday. And it's in the first day, there's really no homework to say for the people who join the challenge. But what happens is, so we'll kind of set it up on Monday. On Tuesday, I'm going to give them homework that they have to do to collect all of their connections, and so I'll have a process for that. Then that's on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, we'll go through what's the process to really find as I call it, find the gold within your network.
Yes.
And so out of the thousands of people that we're connected to, there's a number that are really important. And then even from that number, it's kind of following that 80-20 rule, right? So out of all of your contacts, is about 20% of them actually are valuable to you. And from that 20%, there's even a smaller group that is really important. So we'll go through that process on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, it's really how do you nurture those folks, and like paid advertising is great. It's a great tool depending on your business, but most of us that are small businesses, solo entrepreneurs, freelancers, we don't need thousands of customers. We just need a handful. And so doing paid ads is great for certain businesses. But so anyway, that's the process, is just kind of people go through, we do it together. We're able to look at the network, find the gold, and how to just do more business from those folks. So that's the challenge. And so that's coming up February 8th to the 11th. It'll be 2 to 3:30 each of those days. So 4 to 4:30 Central Time. And
Okay.
so
does it cost you then?
No. It's just it's a thing. So there's that. I'll put this link in the chat.
Sure.
And so it's just you can just register right on there to get reminders. So here we go. Yeah. All right, get that link. That in the comments. So that's the one right there. So at rebrand.ly/networking bootcamp. And so,
Okay.
yeah,
And
it'll
you
be.
have that in your comments? I don't have it in mine.
It went out. Let's
There we
see.
go.
Did it go?
Nope, I was in the wrong spot.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
I didn't see that in
And maybe I can send it to you. No, that's all right.
No problem.
But anyway, it's the on the screen rebrandly/networking bootcamp. So should be fairly easy. So yeah, I've been learning Kajabi because it is really helpful for being able to host these different events. So yeah, that's a lot. So anyway, that's kind of what's coming up.
Well, that sounds very exciting. I'm glad you took the plunge.
yeah, it's been really good. And then I'll reach out and we'll see about scheduling you for the experience. It looks like I'm just looking at the schedule. As I said, we do 2 guests per week, and we're booked up until the middle of April. So the 14th, 21st, and 28th. And so look at your schedule and see if we can grab you, because just what's going on in your life would be really helpful and interesting for a lot of folks.
Sure. I'd love to.
Awesome. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to shut this one down. And so thank you for coming in and joining. And I'm glad you're doing better. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Scott. Bye-bye.
See you soon. All right, so that is the end of the networking Q&A for this Monday, the 1st of February, brand new month, 1/12 of 2021. So many people have been looking forward to 2021. 1/12 of this year is now under our belts. It's in the records. It's in your logbooks. It's in your calendar. I hope that this month of January felt productive for you. And we've got a new week, got a new month running. So go ahead and focus on the people in your network and lean into them. And with that, I will just say, have a great week.